Hello, all, and thank you for tuning into another episode of Edible Software. Today, we are actually going to be talking about our mobile applications. This training specifically will be talking about the non-live sales app or the mobile sales app that we have today. So what you're seeing in front of you right now is essentially what you will see on the device that you choose. We do have specific devices, hard body solutions. If you need those, please ask us about those if you need those. But essentially, these apps can work on any Android tablet or any Android phone as of right now, and we are soon going to be rolling this out for iOS as well. So uh, let's go ahead and get started. We'll have a different setup discussion as far as setting up users for your API and everything like that. So that's going to be a different training. So this is assuming that everything has been set up and now we are ready to start using these apps. So the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, I'm on my login page. I'm going to log in with my username and my password for my user and make sure that my API URL is selected. You will be given an API URL, and this will stay on the application anytime that you open it up. It should not change, so you shouldn't have to enter it in every time. So I'm going to go ahead and tap login. And so what it does is it brings me into my very first app that I have available for this user. So I may only be licensed for a few apps, although you have purchased more than one. That's perfectly fine. To find the app that I want to actually work in, I'm going to click at the top left in this menu bar. And here it'll show me all of my applications that I am licensed for as this user. So today, again, we're just going to be talking about this sales orders option. So this is the mobile sales app or the non-live sales app. So I'll tap on orders and it'll bring me into my open orders screen. So this would be showing you all of your orders that you have worked on for that particular day. So of course, since this is the first time I'm logging in, it will not show me anything. So to start a new order, I'm going to come down to the bottom right and click this plus sign. From here, I can go ahead and look up a customer that I want to create the order for. So whether I'm out and about in the warehouse or maybe on site at the client, I can use this app for whatever customer I need to or whatever customers I am assigned to. One note before we continue on, because this is the non-live app, you don't need to be connected to the internet while working within the app. You do need to be connected to the internet in order for the initial login, because that does the initial data sync. And you'll need it when you're actually syncing orders back to Edible Software. But as far as after you have done the initial login, you can be anywhere that you need to be to set up these orders, and then just make sure you're connected once you're ready to finish up for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing in this find customer field to find my customer. I can type in their name or their ID, whichever works best for you, and tap on that. And that will bring me into this header page. So I've started this order now. So in this header page, I can go ahead and enter in whatever information I need. If I have a PO number, I can go ahead and start typing in a PO number. I can put in any notes. These will be just general invoice notes. So if I needed to, this will show the shipping information for this customer. I can also specify what type of order this is. Is this a delivery or is this a pickup? So whichever one needs to be selected. And then, of course, I can specify the date in which this order should be ready. So this would be the requested delivery date once it's submitted back to the system. So if I'm submitting this for tomorrow, which is for this customer, that is what it is populating as. But if I'm setting it up for today, since it is rather early, I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And now I can move on to my Lines tab. So my Lines tab is going to show me all of my lines that I've added to this order. Of course, since I haven't started the order yet, I have nothing showing. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this plus sign again and start adding my orders, or start adding my items. Right now, we are defaulting to filtering only by standard items. So only standard items for this customer will show up. Of course, you can toggle that option off and it will show you all of your items in the system. So that's to your preference. And from here, I can go ahead and find an item just like I was searching for the customer. I can type in an item code if I want to, and it'll search by that. Of course, I can type by a name. And so here I can see all of my watermelon options. I can also scan. So up here in the top right is a scan bar. So once this icon is highlighted in green, you now have the ability to scan, whether you're using a Bluetooth scanner hooked up to a phone or a tablet, or if you're using the built-in scanner on one of the hard body devices. Doesn't matter, and there's separate instructions, of course, on how to set those up. But if I have a barcode sitting in front of me, which I do right here, I can go ahead and scan that barcode, and it will go ahead and bring up that item. So whether you're scanning a G10 barcode or a GS1 barcode, as long as the item can be identified in the system, then I can go ahead and scan that barcode. From here, as you can see, I also have that scan icon in this Add Edit Item screen. So I can continue to scan these barcodes as needed to increment the quantity. So if I just keep scanning the same barcode, you can see the quantity is incrementing by what I'm scanning. From there, and of course you can do this in no specific order, it's completely up to you. You can select the unit of measure that you're counting. So I do apologize. You do have to select the UOM first. So I say no specific order. There is an order. So after I've selected the unit of measure, then I can continue to scan as needed and increment, or of course I can tap into the quantity area and enter in. So what you're not seeing here, unfortunately, because this is just the demo feature, is when you tap into the quantity area, it will bring up a keypad for you so that you can type in the quantity that you need. So you don't have to scan if you don't want to. You always have manual features. So I'll go ahead and type in 5. And then we bring in the price from the system, whatever the calculated price is for this customer and item is. This includes overrides if any exists. So that will pre-populate for you. However, if you wanted to override the price so that a different price is brought into the system when this is submitted, you can do that. If you just tap on this override toggle, and now when you tap into the unit price field, again, that keypad will pop up and you can go ahead and type in what you need. So I'm going to go ahead and type in $2. Oh, sorry, I get so used to using my keyboard. Let's go back in here one more time. So after I am done, I do need to go ahead and press save in order for this to save. So I'm going to go ahead and tap save. And now that line has been saved for this order. If I had any issues with what I just added, if I needed to remove this and start over, if I added the wrong item, I can always take a line item and swipe it to the left, and I have this delete option for this line item if need be. So I can delete this item from the order if I wanted to. If I needed to do anything such as just update the unit price or anything like that, I can tap on that item and I can change whatever information I need to in here. So let's say, I meant to put in 7 eaches and it was actually going to be $3. I'll go ahead and click save, and now that is updated on my line. So you don't have to delete and re-add. You can always just edit a line if you need to. Otherwise, I'm going to come back in here. I just backed out completely just to show you that information, but you don't have to back out completely. Once you've saved a line item, you can come back in here and scan the next item or select the next item to add to the order. So here I can go ahead and select another item if need be. So I'm going to go ahead and scan another item barcode. Here I'm going to go ahead and put in how much I need. I'm okay with the price. I'll click save. And then from here, move on to the next item, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it as far as adding items to the order. It's pretty simple. And again, you can always update or delete as needed. So in this totals area, this is just showing you the total for the order. So if there are any calculated discounts, it will bring those in. But this is showing you the total as of right now for those 2 line items on this order. And at any given point, I can change my header information. Uh, if I need to update the PO number or change the method, that's all perfectly well. As long as this order is marked as draft, I can do whatever I need to on this on the application itself. If I am done with the order, I have 2 options. I can either click this back button and it will just be saved as draft, or I can click the 3-pronged option at the top right and mark as open. Marking it as open is really just there if you are going to be syncing multiple orders at a time. So here, I'm going to go ahead and mark this as open, and then go back, and you can see it's marked as open. But I'm also going to set up another order really quickly. So I'm just going to add 1 line item very, very quickly to this. Change my price, save, and go back. So here I've got my line item. So here I'm not going to save this as open. I'm just going to go ahead and go back. So here in this order screen, the first screen that we came into, you can see your orders that you've worked on, and you can see the status for them. So here I've got a draft order. Here I've got an open order. Again, the open option, saving it as open or marking an order as open, is only for syncing multiple orders at a time. So if you were working on a lot of orders and you just wanted to sync all at once, marking it as open is not a bad idea. However, you do not have to do that if you wanted to. What you could do is actually swipe the order to the left, and here we already have a sync option for you. So it doesn't have to be marked as open in order to sync. You can sync individually if you wanted to. So I can go ahead and sync this order and click OK. So now this order exists in Edible Software. So if I come back into my actual Edible Software and go into my sales orders screen and go click my online orders button, and I'm just going to sort by delivery date. Here I can see this order, this 1031. And here's that item code. There's my number of units. There's my price, everything that I need. So I can go ahead and click save despite my different settings. Hold on. There we go. So, and now once it's been saved, it is a part of Edible Software. So I can still look at it on the app if I wanted to. I can click on that and I can see that information there. But there really isn't anything I can do. I can't edit any information. If it's synced, it is part of Edible Software, and any changes need to be made in the system. Now here I'm going to go ahead and, again, I can sync individually, or if I had multiple open orders, I can just hit sync open orders up here at the top. Oops, there we go. And now that order is synced. So if I go back into my system, click my online orders, come down at the bottom, and here is my Trent Edible store order. All right, and if I click OK, of course it brings in my items with my prices and everything like that. So I am good to go. So, of course, it will show you all of your synced orders. These will not leave this screen while you are currently in this session. Once you log out of the app completely, so once you come down to the bottom of the menu and click log out, that is when the information will be removed from the application itself. So bear in mind, you will see these unless you log out or you come to the top right and clear synced orders. So if you clear synced orders, that will go ahead and remove that. That is simply there to clean up the screen as you're working throughout the day. Maybe you're setting up a lot of different orders and you just want to clean up the screen a little bit. So that's completely optional. If you wanted to, you can clear your synced orders. All right, but that is essentially the non-live sales app, or the mobile sales app. I hope you enjoyed this training. I hope you learned something. and I hope you come back for more trainings like this in the future. Thank you again for joining me today, and I hope you have a great day.